Hello everyone. This is October Square, the wide cable pattern. It's a really nice cable that is only an 8-row repeat. It's quite simple. It's not going to be hard. There's no new techniques involved. It's just cabling. But I really like this one. Okay, let's look at the pattern. Now, we're going to go over the pattern, and then some of it probably won't make sense, but then it will when we get in more depth. Okay, so strip 3, block 2, wide cable pattern. You're going to work 3 rows in garter stitch, increasing 9 stitches evenly on the 3rd row. Okay, so normally we work 2 rows in garter stitch. This month we're working 3. That'll give you 61 stitches, and then you're going to be set up to begin the pattern on the wrong side of the work. So yes, this month you will, normally we start on the right side, so this month your first row will be on the wrong side. Okay, that's how it should be. Here's your right side. That's gonna be your 2nd row. Okay, so first row begins on the wrong side of the work. 55 stitches will be used in the wide cable pattern, and 6 stitches are used for the border. So work until the square measures 12.5 inches from the beginning, ending after working a wrong side row. Then you're going to knit 2 rows in garter stitch, decreasing evenly across the first row, giving you 52 stitches again. Okay, so the key is, I think the only new thing in this pattern is RSS, and that means reverse stockinette stitch. And reverse stockinette stitch is where you knit on the wrong side of your work and you purl on the right side of your work. Let me give you an example here. So here is our right side of our work, right? And here's our cable. And in between our cable, we've got this. And this is purled, okay? So that's reverse stockinette, when the purl row shows on your right side, okay? So we've got reverse stockinette, cable, reverse stockinette, cable, reverse stockinette. Okay? So again, you're going to knit on the wrong side of your work in the reverse stockinette sections. Okay? We've got our cable 4 back, cable 4 front. You know how to do all those. If you forget, you can go to the YouTube channel and refresh. So here's a tip. Row 2 in all right side rows, the 5 reverse stockinette stitches are purled. In row 1 in all wrong side rows, the 5 reverse stockinette stitches are knit. So this pattern's opposite. Usually row 1 and all odd numbers are your right side rows. This month it's different. Row 1 and all your odd rows are wrong side. So let's look at this. The 20 stitches inside the cable, inside the parentheses, are your cable stitches. Follow the cable pattern for these stitches. On the wrong side rows, the cable stitches in the parentheses are purled. Now, I know that doesn't really make any sense right now, but it will, I promise. Here's an example of how to work the entire row. Okay, so this is row 1. Okay, it's your first row that you're going to work in your pattern. I've just set it up really basic here so that you know how to do it. So actually, this would be row 1 for me. Let me move this for you. Maybe this will help make a little bit more sense. We've got row 1. Let me open this up. Sorry. Okay, so row 1, here's our border stitches. Okay, with our marker. and then we have 5 reverse stockinette stitches, which are right here, and I've knit those. It says to knit those on row 1, right? Place my marker. Then I've got 20 stitches. These will be my cable stitches on the next row, and those are purled, so I've got those right here. Okay, I've purled across these 20 stitches. Then I've placed a marker. I've done 5 reverse stockinette stitches, which is knit on the wrong side. Place my marker, purled across my 20 stitches, which are going to be cabled on the next row, placed a marker, and now I've knit across my reverse stockinette stitches, placed a marker, and then there's my border stitches, okay? So that's your first row. And then I'm going to do row 2 with you. So let's look at this. Row 2, we're going to do our border stitches, our reverse stockinette, which is our right side, so they're going to be purled. We're going to do our cables, reverse stockinette, which is purled, cable, reverse stockinette, border stitches. We're going to do that in just 1 second. I want you to look at this. Here's our wide cable pattern, okay? Panel of 20 stitches on the background of reverse stockinette stitch. These directions only pertain to the cable sections. So row 1 and every alternating row on the wrong side is purled, and we know that. We are talking about our cable sections here, okay? Here's our 20 cable, that's purled because we already did row 1. Here's our other cable section, that's purled because we already did row 1. Okay, our reverse stockinette stitches, which are these 5 stitches in between here, are not mentioned in this because we know that our reverse stockinette stitches are always going to be knit on the wrong side and purled on the right side. Okay, so let's do this. Row 2. We'll go through this together. Row 2. I'm going to move this up here so we can do it. Okay. This right here, which I've written for row 2, is the same as right down here for row 2. Same directions for our cable section, okay? Knit 6, cable 4 back, cable 4 front, knit 6. Says the same thing right there, okay? So this is how it's going to go. At this point, I don't even need to look at my pattern because I know I'm going to do my 3 border stitches. Okay, I'm on my right side. So on my right side, I know I'm going to purl. Going to do the opposite of what we usually do. Purl my 5 reverse stockinette stitches, right? And then I'm going to, here I am at my 20 cable stitches, so now I'm going to look at my pattern, and it says knit 6, 1, 2, 3, 6. Then it says cable 4 back. So that means that we're going to take these 4 stitches. I'm going to put the first 2 on my cable needle, right? Hang them to the back. Bring my yarn in front of my cable needle and knit these 2. 1, 2. Then I'm going to take my cable needle, knit these directly off my cable needle. 1, 2. Okay. Then it says cable 4 front, so I'm going to go directly into my next cable. So I'm going to take these 2 stitches, 1, 2, And why the light is so bad. And hang them to the front. Okay. And knit these two off, the next two off my regular needle. Then pull these two up and knit them off my cable needle. Get that going. A little cumbersome. Okay. Then it says knit 6. So then I'm still in my cable pattern, right? Still in those 20 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now here I am at my 5 reverse stockinette stitches. I'm on the right side, so I'm going to purl these 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, that's done. And now I'm back to my 20 cable stitches. Again, I'm still on row 2, so I'm doing this again, right? So I'm going to knit 6. 1, 2, 4, 6. Then I'm going to cable 4 back. Knit off of my cable needle. Then it says cable for front, so I'm going directly into my front cable, which is slip these two onto my needle and hang them in the, whoops, hang them in the front. 2 off my regular needle. Then knit these 2 directly off my cable needle. And I still have these stitches left in my cable section, and it says to knit them. So I've knit 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Reverse stockinette section, so I'm on the right side. I'm going to purl still. 2, 3, 5. And here I am at my border, and I'm going to knit those. Okay, so let's look at this. Don't pay attention to that. That's from something different, please. Let's see here. So here we go. Border. Here's our reverse stockinette, which were purled. Here's our 20 cable stitches. Here's our reverse stockinette, purled. 20 cable, reverse stockinette, and our border stitches. So now we're going to go, we know that row 3 and all wrong side rows, the cable section is purled, but our reverse stockinette section is knit because now we're on the wrong side. I mean, the wrong side. Normally you purl on that side, but for reverse stockinette, we're going to knit. So there's our border. Here's our reverse stockinette. So see how our stockinette stitch is showing up, and that's usually on the right side. But now on this pattern, it's on the wrong side. Okay. okay? And then when you come to your cable stitches, you're just going to purl across all 20 of those, okay? So that is how this pattern works. Something you can do to help yourself out if the reverse stockinette situation is confusing at first, you can just right here, because we know this is our cable sections, right? So on all, you could say reverse stockinette, you could just write a little wrong side is knit. You could do reverse stockinette, purl, just give yourself, you know, these are all, and so here we go, you're gonna go, these are all purl, right? You could, so purl, purl, and just give yourself a little crib note or whatever it's called. So anyways, that's the pattern. It's really quite simple. It's just kind of figuring out the reverse stockinette, which is really easy once you understand it. Just, it's so opposite of what we've done so far that it can be confusing to remember. So any little trick you do might help you out. Okay, so that's it, ladies. That is the pattern for this month. I think that is all I have to tell you. I hope that you enjoy it. And obviously it's a 8-row repeat, so just keep on going until you are at your desired length. And remember to end the pattern on a wrong side row. So you worked a wrong side row and you end. Okay. I hope you enjoy.